It's very rare that I really get excited about a product, but Fluent CRM has really surprised me because I've been using this for about 4 months and it hasn't really caused any problems for my website. It hasn't slowed it down, and pretty much I'm super excited. Now, I tried to create a community before using Buddy Boss, and I've also tried to do it on Facebook groups, but when Fluent CRM was released, I thought I'd give it a try. So I just want to give you a view of what I think about it so far and what could be improved. Okay, so first of all, I really like the idea of the setup. I mean, it's very, very easy to use and it's very, very easy to get started. So as you can see, this is the main page right here. You have your portal settings, you have your manage courses, documentation, and you can also change your community URL. Now, what I like about Fluent Community is the fact that it works within your actual website. Now, this is powerful because you can build your website however you want and Fluent Community just fits in. Now, let me show you what this looks like. So, for example, let's say I have this website here, and let's just say this is our main website. It's complete. It has the About Us. It also has the services page, the blog, and so on. Now, when you go to Community, it is its own sort of bubble, right? So everything works in there. So you have your VIP discussions here. You have your, let's say, under 13 club. So everything is working within here. And as you can see, we have also spaces. Now this gives us the ability to see all our community groups. So as you can see, these are the two. We also have courses. I mean, I will speak about this in a moment. And here we can also see all our members. And then here we have our leaderboard. Now, as I was playing around with this, I was just trying to think to myself, well, what is the best way to get people to sign up on my community? And do I really have to do this manually? How does it really work? So I came up with a very, very easy way to get Fluent Community to work for you if you want to set it up in an automated way. So the first thing you want to do is to have a form which you create using Fluent Forms. Now, I've only used Fluent Forms. I haven't tried any other forms, so I use Fluent Forms. So you can actually automate the system using Fluent Forms. Now, let me show you how that looks like. So let's say over here on Fluent Forms, you create a form, and let's say it's this one here, subscription form, okay? So you'd create a form, and then you create a page. So let's say this is our page. So we want that when someone adds their email address here and subscribes, they automatically get added to whatever community it is that you want to add them to. Now, let me show you how easy it is to automate this process. Otherwise, you'll be doing this manually. So what you do is you would come over here to your website and you want to go to Fluent CRM. Again, this is another product that you need to use to just make the automation process easy. All right, so what you want to do is to come over here to Fluent CRM. So here on Fluent CRM, you want to go to, okay, it's very important you go to automations because this is how we're going to automate the whole system. So we're going to start with our new automation here. Click on Start from Scratch. And what you want is when someone adds their email address on the form to then be added to the community. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to say form submission, and we're going to give this an internal thing here. So we're going to call it VIP. Okay, and then we're going to say continue. Right. So now that we have this, we're going to select the form. Now remember, it's the subscription form, so I'm going to come over here and select it. So we want to make sure we save the first name. So here we can click on this little drop down and map this. In fact, we want to map the email because the form doesn't have a first name. So we want to capture the email. Now over here, we can leave this as subscribed. And then on the bottom here, we want to click on settings. Okay, so now we are saying that when the form is submitted, the next step we need to do is to click on this plus button. So what we need here now is to add this user or create a WordPress user, okay? Because that's how they get their username and password. So we're going to come here and say create WordPress user. They're going to be added in as a subscriber, and internal here we're going to say VIP so that we just know that it's a VIP member. Okay, right. So now that we have VIP member here, the role is what? Subscriber. We're going to say generate password automatically because we don't want to go in and manually do anything here. Okay, so usually how I've set it up here pretty much works. You also want to make sure that send WordPress user notification email is also activated because they need to have an email which will have their username and password automatically. I'm going to say save settings. Okay, great. So now when someone signs up on that form, a WordPress contact is going to be created on your website, and then this is where you'd add in the third part, which is add to space. Okay, and the space we want here, since this is a VIP one, we're going to say VIP discussions like that, and then click on save settings. Now, once you've done that, you can also go ahead and add a welcome email. So you can just call this a welcome. It's always nice to, have the email here. I'm just going to say save settings, but of course you can go in and add your body text and so on. And once you've done these steps, of course, you can add more and more steps here. You can add a tag. In fact, it's important to add a tag, by the way. And the tag we want here is called VIP. Now, adding this tag is very important because later on, we can use this tag to then segment our emails as we're sending emails out. For example, let's say I'm sending an email out and I want it to go to specifically VIP members. I can select that just using this tag. Okay, so it's very, very important. Next, I'm going to hit save settings. Okay, so you can see this automation here is based on someone logging in onto this form. And Fluent CRM has allowed us to do all this. And it can do more, by the way. So once you've done that, you can just click on active, okay? And pretty much you are good to go. Now let's test and see if this is going to work, okay? So over here, we're going to go on our contacts, and you can see here we have 2 contacts. So we're going to test this and see if this works. So my email here, I'm just going to say graphicstv@gmail.com. That's my email. Hit subscribe. Okay, so thank you, blah, blah, blah. Now for this stage here, you can also have a thank you page if you wanted to, but pretty much, it's all good. Now back here on our contacts, I'm going to refresh this, and we notice that Graphics TV has been added. Our tag VIP here has been added. Now let's see what happens when we go to our community portal. Okay, so we're going to go to spaces, and remember, I've added myself to VIP. So I'm going to come over here to VIP discussions. We're going to click on members, and there we go. Joined just a few seconds ago. You can see that it's right there. Now, do you see how easy this was to automate my system without me spending a lot of time doing everything manually? So when I did this, I thought to myself, well, what if I have a website with members already on my website and I want to add them to specific groups? Now we're imagining that this website has already been created, but I want to add the community onto my website and add these members onto specific communities. You can also create another automation, but this time the automation is going to be based on adding a tag. Now let me show you how we can do that as well. All right, so we're going to leave this open here. So this is our join the community. Let's go back to our website. Again, we're going to use Fluent CRM. Now, before we can use Fluent CRM, let's head over back to our spaces here. So our space is going to be called Under 13 Discussions, okay? And it's also private, right? Great. So that's what you need. Next, you want to come over here to Fluent CRM. You go to tags and you want to create a tag called Under 13. You see that? And creating a tag is very easy. You can just click here on create a tag, you name it, and then you click create, and then it gets added over here. Okay, so now that we have this tag, we want now our automation to be based on the tag. Now I've already created it over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it and then start all over again. So I'm going to say delete automation, and I want to show you how to start all over again. So I'm going to click on new automation from scratch, and this time we are going to kickstart all this by adding a tag. So there we go. I'm going to say under 13s like that, and then we're going to hit continue. Now remember, this option now already has people that have signed up on my website. So let's select our tag here, under 13, and I'm going to say save. All right. So our automation here is going to be started when I add a tag called under 13. All right, so what needs to happen next? We need to add under 13 to space, and our space is going to be called under 13. We hit save. Next, you can also do a welcome email if you wanted to, and here's the send custom email. So again, we can just say welcome, and then over here you can add your content, and then click on save. Now notice that we are not adding the WordPress user because the user is already on my website. Okay, so that's great. So now that we have this is the basic automation. You can just click here on status and make sure it's set to published. Now with that, you come over here to your contacts. Now, your users are going to be in WordPress, remember? So what you can do now is to come over here to import. So Fluent CRM has a fantastic option where you can just come over here to WordPress users, next, and then it's going to import all your WordPress users on your computer and brings them onto Fluent CRM. Okay, so let's say you've gone through all that, import users now, they get imported. I just have 2 here and the import is complete. Okay, so now if you wanted to add a user to the under 13 group, here's what you can do. You'd come over here to this user, Mac at Creative Astro. You come over here to tags, under 13, confirm. Now, what has happened is automatically our automation has kicked in and has completed this task. So let me come over here now to automations. We're going to go to under 13 and we are going to go to our stats and we can see one person has been added here. I can also click on view reports and I can see Mac here has been sent a custom email and it's been added to the space and so on and so forth. Now let's go to spaces. Remember, it's under 13. We're going to come over here and let's have a look at members. There we go. So I've been added to the group. So as you can see, it is very, very easy to use. Now the question is, why would we need a community in the first place? Now there are several reasons why. I mean, just recently we are hearing about this TikTok ban and so on. And with our social media platforms, we also see that a lot of these platforms change their algorithms and sometimes you can be locked out of your own social media platform because maybe perhaps you violated something and automatically you've been banned. Okay, there is no way to go back now to YouTube or Facebook to really contest this. Usually when that goes wrong, pretty much you're done. But if you have members in your own community, this is really powerful because you have total control. You can manage all your emails on your community. I mean, you can interact. In fact, since I've been using Fluent Community, this has been a really game changer for me because I am getting so much interaction from my own website. Now look at this. When I installed Fluent Community, if we look at the traffic here, look at the visitors, 50, 20 a day, right? So we have views and visitors. But it starts to go higher and higher. Look at that. So as you can see, more and more people are interacting. I know it's not a lot, but this gives me hope that this is actually working. But the question is, a lot is happening on this community. Does that affect the speed of the website? And I can tell you right now with 100% certainty that this community is functioning just like a normal website. And that is shocking because I come from a background where I've tried to use BuddyBoss to create a community and it was very, very difficult. You know, it was so slow that I abandoned it. Now, for those of you that have been with me for a long time, you may recall that I've actually used BuddyBoss to create a community and I abandoned it on Funnels to Income. And then I went to Facebook and it was just so crazy to manage on Facebook and I left that. And thankfully Fluent Community came through and now I am super excited about how it's performing. Now let's take a look and see what we have in our community here. So if I click on view community, you can see we have a lot of interaction here. You can see here someone has just posted something here on the community and we can go in and, you know, read all this and there's some feedback I can go in and respond to. We also have our spaces here. So we have our Divi community. This is the free one and you can see the numbers here are quite large. We also have the Fluent community discussion, 27 members. We also have the site crafters. We also have VIP members. So as you can see, there's 302. So I can redirect my messages depending on which community I need to go into. Now let's take a look at customizations. Now it is dark mode, which is fantastic if you want to work on your website in the dark. I mean, it's very easy on the eyes, so it is brilliant. Now over here we also have settings. We can add your logo here, which is appearing over here on the top. You can set a logo for the dark mode, when I scroll down here, you can also see that we can have a redirect URL. You can have a specific login form, which then redirects people to wherever you want. So there's a lot of features here that you can play around with, which will really, make your website look awesome. Over here, we can also customize our colors. So if you want your colors here to work with your branding, you can use that. And as you can see here, there's quite a lot to go in and change. You have your text color, your off text color, and so on. Okay, so as you can see here, you can also go into dark mode and customize all your colors for the dark mode. So there's a lot of customizations that you can do here. Right, so you may be thinking, well, at this point, 100%, everything is fine. Well, for the most part, I agree. 100% Fluent community is fantastic, and I really like how it is working and how it has brought all the members of Divi to join on Divi University. But there's a few things, right? So first of all, when it comes to the font here, there is no direct way of really going in and customizing my font to make it match the rest of my website. So that's one thing that I would like to see changed in the future of Fluent community. That will just, I know it's not a big deal, but that's really icing on the cake. Okay. And I'm just being a bit picky here. Secondly, when it comes to these colors, I also noticed that some of them don't really work well together. If I were to change these colors and make them dark, my icons here get affected. And also, if I wanted to go in and change the text color here, I don't think I can. When I tried to do it, it wasn't really working very well. So I was just now left with just using really light colors. But I really wanted to make this dark, but there's some areas which I could not change, because the setting covers that pretty much on one setting. So wherever there is sort by or latest posts, if I were to use a dark background here, I struggle to change the color here. But I think that's something very minor. What I'll probably do is I'll create another video so I can show exactly what I mean, so that the team at Fluent Community can go ahead and fix the issue if it's something that is fixable. So that in itself is, in a nutshell, two things that I think may need to be fixed or sorted, but I would like to see a complete integration with a theme or whatever theme you're using to make your customizations there, and then this will really be a complete product. So I would give it 98% thumbs up, but it is a fantastic product. I can't even tell you how this has been really, really amazing. It's so easy to set up, and it is very easy for my users to use. I'm interacting more with them. They're giving me suggestions. I've run polls on here. Can I see that? Let's have a look. You can go in here, add emojis. So it just works like a Facebook group. I can also segment this based on the topic discussions, like that. I think there was somewhere where I added in a poll asking people what they would like me to create. Well, I can't find it, but anyway, you get what I mean. If you wanted to create a specific post, you could go in here. This is the option for creating a poll. You can go in here, you add your first choice, your option, you can even add more, and then people can come in and vote. And this will give you an idea of how you want or what direction you need to take with your community. And by the way, Divi University is a community for Divi designers, freelancers, and so on. You can join absolutely free, and you can get to interact with the members or other designers who use Divi. So you can go ahead and sign up. I'll add the link to that in the video description below. Now over here is where we have our main page. They still have an early bird lifetime deal, and you can really literally go in and get it now. And if you click on get it now here, the pricing is a bit steep, but I want to tell you something really important. This community is priceless. For $199 for a single site, this will be a game changer for your business, because you are going to have a community around your business. It can be a business, perhaps maybe you're a bakery, or you're a vlogger, or whatever it is. You have your community. You can have courses in there. You can interact with your community, and you can, it's really, really a good thing. So $199 as a price, it may seem like a lot of money, but long term, this is a lifetime deal. You don't have to pay anything after that. It is a fantastic deal. 5 sites, I would say, if you really want to take this to the next level, you have a few websites, then this is the license to go with. But I would highly recommend that you go with either the 15 or the 50 sites. Now, why am I saying this? Well, the future of web design is really going to be advantageous for those who add even more features to their services. Now, if you're just going to design websites, your About Us services, whatever page or websites, those type of websites are not very, very important. And in fact, in the future, you'll see this. Now, if you went to a client and pitched this idea that, you know what, you have a company that focuses on, let's say, farming. How about you also have your own community where you have farmers or your customers where they can interact, share ideas, recipes, you name it. And you can even have courses around your product in there. That is more appealing to someone that would want a website design. And in fact, I've actually done this. The website I built in 2025, I actually pitched this idea of having a community, and I charged £3,000, which is about 3,200 or 3,400 US dollars for that website. So I got my money back just by designing one website. And that feature, the client loved it so much, and I'll be doing this walkthrough of that website because it was very simple to set up, but the client was super happy about it. So it is really, really fantastic. So even if you go for this 15 site license, $6.99, you can just go with that and build websites for your clients where you can charge $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Of course, you need your marketing skills to really convince them. Now, over here on the 50 sites, you can go with that and choose to pay $100 a month for 10 months, and pretty much you have this. Now, I would highly recommend this for agencies or freelancers. This will be fantastic. Now, one word of warning. There's a time when Fluent CRM came out and it was really new. They had a lifetime deal and a lot of people bought it, but some didn't. Now, those that didn't are really regretting this idea right now because Fluent CRM has turned out to be a fantastic product. In fact, I'll be doing a separate video about it where I can talk and where I'll be talking to you about how it works and how it has changed my business. It's an email marketing automation platform for WordPress, and everything runs on your website. It is fantastic. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. For those of you that are using Fluent Community, what are your views? What do you think about it? I mean, is it working well for you? Let me know in the comments box below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.